story, and it's coming up.
A whistleblower is calling on top Wake County school leaders to resign after my investigation found at least 10 employees were aware of alleged assaults in the classroom far before the now convicted teacher ended up in court.
Right now at 6, you are looking live at Raleigh. Those flurries are not real, but some areas could see some flurries tonight. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Gerald Owens. Flurries just like those.
Yep.
Today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day as we watch for any signs of winter weather. Meteorologist Mike Mays in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Mike, if we don't see flurries tonight, there is another chance soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at Friday evening and Friday night, the possibility of snow moving in, and it's a better opportunity as of right now from what we're going to see this evening. The radar is lighting up. There's some light rain out there. You head up into Virginia. There's the pink and the white, which indicates some snow flurries. And as colder air moves in tonight, and there's still lingering moisture, there's possibility of more flurries around the area from the triangle area north and east. So we'll be keeping our eye on the radar through the next several hours. This is the next system. It's really weak right now, but once it gets over toward Texas on Thursday, we'll really start to see the storm system wind up and head our way. And here's the European model, how it evolves as the week goes on, or at least as we head into Friday morning. Snow across parts of the plains, low pressure along the Gulf Coast. As it runs into very dry air, we'll have evaporative cooling take place. So that would help frozen precipitation to develop, starting off with snow and then a wintry mix. And then as we get into Saturday, as it moves out, it ends in the form of rain. So many questions about how this will evolve, but as of right now, it does not look like it's going to be the big one because the way the atmosphere is set up, it doesn't look like it'll have enough cold air to produce all snow. I'll have more about this and the probability of seeing at least an inch of snow. It's coming up.
I'm Brett Neese here in the WRAL Live Center, taking a look at how this winter weather is affecting us on the roads and in the air. This is our map here showing you what traffic is like right now after 6 o'clock as people get home from work or are still out there on the roads. A little bit of a slowdown there near Carytown Boulevard, but nothing too bad, as this is our live look right there at I-40 at Carytown Boulevard. You can see some of that slick roadway there on the side of the roads. That will, of course, freeze later tonight, and it'll make things a little bit tricky out there. Here's our live look in Baltimore. You can see some of the snowflakes coming down. That snow blanketed city right now. It's really pretty scene there, but it's affecting us at RDU and really across the country when it comes to flying right now. 40 cancellations at RDU across the day. Let's look at the misery map real quick. 214 cancellations just within the past 3 or 4 hours. It really is a miserable time to be flying right now, especially on the East Coast, guys.
All right, Brett, thank you. Make sure to download the WRAL News app to take the Dual Doppler 5000 radar with you on the go. Our team of meteorologists posts multiple updates throughout the day. The app is free to download.
Police say a man broke into an NC State student's apartment, took his clothes off, and tried to start a fire. Tonight, we are hearing from that student.
It was crazy. That's something you wouldn't dream of in a million years.
Well, it happened at Chuan Hall on Ligon Street near NC State. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan joins us now there live. Chelsea, the student says this all started when the fire alarm went off.
Yeah, Deborah, here's that fire alarm here, and was it, like you mentioned, a pretty strange night here at Chuan Hall. So the fire alarm goes off, and the girls inside of this apartment right here, they leave. They go in their car and they wait for police. As they do, another guy sweeps right into their apartment, hiding out in the bathroom, trying to set a fire before police come in, and he takes them on a foot chase. Mercedes Ledbetter and her roommate were asleep inside their student apartment when around 1:30 this morning, a fire alarm went off.
We kind of rushed out, and I just took a jacket and my phone and keys. And we came out to our car.
They left their door unlocked as they sat in the parking lot. That's when they noticed a man pacing around.
I was like, I didn't lock the door. So like, what if he goes in our room? Like, I actually thought that.
You could call it foreshadowing. As police arrived to turn off the fire alarm, that man saw police and bolted. He was trying to run from police, but instead he ran into your apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the man, 33-year-old Zachary Watkins of Carborough.
He left a weapon on our bed. It was a pocket knife.
And took off his clothes before trying to burn something in the bathroom.
He did leave like an unknown substance in our sink.
When police entered the apartment, Watkins ran away, throwing this fire extinguisher at an officer. You can hear the commotion on Broadcastify radio traffic. And you can still see Watkins' shoes laying outside the student's apartment. NC State Police deployed a taser and stopped him. He was then charged with 5 felonies, including assaulting 3 police officers.
It was crazy. That's something you wouldn't dream of in a million years.
Certainly a strange incident. So Watkins is currently in the Wake County Jail under no bond. As far as those 3 police officers that were assaulted, they're expected to be okay. They only had minor injuries. We should mention NC State didn't send out a wolf alert for this type of situation because they had caught that suspect very quickly, so there was no threat to other parts of campus or here at student housing. Live in Raleigh, Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.
In less than 24 hours, Wake County school leaders will be debating when, how, and if students should be allowed to use their cell phone in school. The board has been looking at imposing countywide rules for months. Many schools already have policies in place to govern cell phone use.
No, not really. Not whatsoever, actually. They try to circumvent it by going to bathrooms to get some cell phone time alone. Or, I can't say that I don't do that myself.
The school board will be meeting at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. They hope to have a policy in place for next school year, and they're looking for feedback from parents, students, and faculty in the coming months.
Very honest there. Well, nearly a dozen members of Governor Josh Stein's cabinet took office this afternoon. They were sworn in at the old Capitol building in downtown Raleigh. Governor Stein is keeping some leaders from Roy Cooper's administration, such as Eddie Buffalo, who leads the Department of Public Safety, and Kristen Walker, the state budget director. The governor is also appointing some new leaders, encouraging them to focus on the needs of North Carolinians.
The work we do is not about policy or programs or politics. It is about people, the people that we serve.
And will you Among the new faces are McKinley Wooten, who will lead the Revenue Department, and Lee Lilly, the new Secretary of Commerce. Stein's cabinet will also include the state's first Latino cabinet member and its first Indian American cabinet member. They are scheduled to be sworn in this weekend.
$16 million could be going to the Durham County Sheriff's Office. Some people say the money should go elsewhere. WRAL's Sean Gallagher explains what they want to see and asks the sheriff where the money should go.
This is where Durham Sheriff's deputies do their training, learning the latest law enforcement techniques at a facility that hasn't seen an upgrade since the Reagan administration. A couple of sheds, no running water, a porta potty on site when nature calls during training. Far from the best for Durham County's finest.
This is an upgrade to our facility that we've had for the better part of 30, 40 years.
That's why Sheriff Clarence Burkhead has been fighting for these upgrades since he was first elected in 2018. But it does come with a price tag, $16 million. And for an agency that already uses about $50 million in the county budget, community members don't want to foot an extra bill.
This is Durham. We are Durham. We deserve better.
Speakers against the renovation say there are other underfunded community policing strategies in areas of greater need.
We should not be going into debt for a sheriff's office that not only fails to keep us safe, but poses a real threat to our lives and securities.
If this is about public safety, increased policing does not lead to public safety.
What do you say to the public when they view that there are areas of greater need than upgrading a training facility?
I agree that the county and the city need to take a look at their economic strategy, but not at the price of minimizing law enforcement.
Sheriff Burkhead says this upgrade would provide deputies with a 10,000 square foot building. That means things like classrooms, bathrooms, and a renovation of the firing range.
When I heard the comments about militarization.
The county commissioners share the sentiment of the sheriff. This isn't an either-or conversation, but figuring out how to upgrade an aging facility and community crisis response programs like HEART is very difficult.
And I completely support the fact that our staff don't have bathrooms and adequate facilities there, but also how do we expedite and increase the conversations around HEART to have a more holistic approach to our response in our community.
The county commissioners will vote on this project next Monday during their regular session that starts at 7 o'clock. In Durham, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Coming up, calls to resign after claims of abuse in the classroom. WRAL Investigates speaks with a teacher turned whistleblower who says top Wake County school leaders fail to protect students.
Tonight, we look at the pattern of teens targeting men lured via dating apps, what they're accusing the men of, plus higher fluoride levels and lower IQs in kids. The search for a possible connection when we see you back here tonight.
I'm Brett Neese here in the WRAL Live Center. We're back with some breaking news. More school delays due to potential winter weather to tell you about. We're going to pull up what we have so far right now. Chapel Hill Carborough schools, along with Edgecombe County schools, Granville County, Nash County, all of those delayed 2 hours tomorrow. There's even more, though, now. Northampton, Vance County, and Warren County all on that list as well. And we're going to continue to follow this list and keep it updated both here in the Live Center and on our website, WRAL.com.
Thank you, Brett. Tonight, a whistleblower is calling for top Wake County school leaders to resign.
I don't think any of those people should be still employed with Wake County Public Schools.
New documents given exclusively to WRAL's Keely Arthur show at least 10 district officials let a violent teacher remain in the classroom for more than a year after the first assault.
In November, special education teacher James Rencher was convicted of assaulting nonverbal students. Tonight, the teacher who reported the assaults speaks exclusively to WRAL, exposing what she calls a retaliatory school environment, which allowed the abuse to continue. Aggressive reactions.
He got mad at me again and slammed the door in my face.
Even threats.
He's threatened me personally before.
The principal?
Yes.
What has he said?
And he told me that he was going to fight me.
Special education teacher Kimberly Tucker claims that was East Wake principal Stacy Alston's reaction when she raised concerns about last-minute schedule changes and mask policies. She reported it to HR.
But they basically told me that he can speak any way to me he wants to.
Principal Alston denies the allegations, writing in an email to me, quote, "I have never threatened to fight or attempted to fight a staff member. I have not slammed a door." But Tucker says the oppressive environment she claims she experienced allowed even worse behavior to fester. On October 17th, 2022, you sent some emails to the assistant principal and the principal, Stacy Alston. What did those emails say?
Mr. Rencher kicked Justin off the ball, and another occasion when he pushed Christian by the head.
James Rencher taught next door to Tucker. Christian and Justin were his students, both nonverbal. Tucker tried to be their voice. Should something have happened based on what you saw with your own eyes?
Yes, something should have happened.
But nothing did. Rencher continued teaching without issue, and East Wake even named him Teacher of the Week within a month of Tucker's report.
Well, it's just another slap in the face.
And more than that, our investigation uncovered 10 district employees, including Superintendent Robert Taylor, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources Anthony Matillo, and East Wake Superintendent Mark Savage were made aware of Rencher's behavior, yet he continued to teach without issue. That is until WRAL began investigating the claims. Tucker and the others say they felt silenced. One instructional aide who had also reported Rencher testified in court that East Wake administrators essentially told her she would need to take a demotion if she wanted to leave his classroom.
I feel like I was demoted, and I didn't really have a choice in the matter.
Taylor, Savage, and Matillo did not respond to our emails. All remain in their roles, as does Principal Stacy Alston. Tucker is disappointed, but not surprised.
I don't know if it's just to keep the pristine image of the mighty Wake County, or I don't know what it is.
In June, following that series of WRAL stories, the district reported Rencher to the police. He was found guilty. The parents of the victims are now suing the Wake County Board of Education and several school leaders in federal court. Educators are mandatory reporters in this state. I spoke with the Wake County District Attorney, who said there was not enough to charge any of the officials criminally. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
This is not over yet. Well, if you have a story that Keely needs to look into, let her know. Call the number here on your screen. That's 919-821-8865 or email callkeely@WRAL.com.
Here with Mike Mays in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Mike, we're talking about some flurries around here, but it's clear to see who's getting the lion's share of the wintry precipitation in the storm.
As of right now, it's up in southern Virginia. We see a little tail end moving through Wake County and parts of Franklin, Warren counties. As we go through the next few hours, more cold air will pour in, more moisture will wrap around the area of low pressure. So it's possible we could see some waves of flurries move through 7 to 11 o'clock tonight, especially north and east of Raleigh. So I'll keep an eye on the radar. I have another update coming up at 7 o'clock. Futurecast at 6 o'clock showing the occasional green and blue, especially as we head into the 9 and 10 o'clock hours over our eastern counties. So it's again Franklin County, Warren County, Nash County at 10 o'clock. We'll be on the lookout for that. So join me at 10 on Fox 50. We'll be checking out the radar 11 o'clock as well. And then after midnight, we see clearing skies. The winds will gust up to about 40. It'll get colder tonight. Wind chills in the morning will be in the teens. And if there's any remaining moisture on the roads, especially up to the north, some of that could freeze on elevated surfaces. There could be some icy spots in the morning. Holding at 38 out at RDU, the dew point 33. Temperatures and wind chills feeling like 26 at Roxborough, 28 at South Hill. The winds will go a long way in evaporating a lot of the moisture, but the concern is there may be a little bit of moisture left over. That's why there is that possibility of icy spots in the morning. 46 right now at Fayetteville. You had 62 for your high today. So hour by hour, we cool down. 35 at 10 o'clock. Midnight, we're 33. By 7, we're at 26. That's our morning low. And again, watch for icy spots. Elizabeth will be here in the morning, and the morning crew will be on the lookout for any icy conditions. So let's talk about our next system. The timing right now looks like Friday night into Saturday, roughly a 12 to 15 hour event. Both the American model and the European are similar, and what it shows how the system evolves, although the American model has far more moisture, pretty much double what the European model has. And it doesn't look like it is going to be the kind of system that will dump a huge snow. There's no parent high sitting over the Northeast that will funnel cold air during the duration of the event, so the cold air is limited. So I don't think it would remain snow the entire time, but I think it could start off as some snow. Here are the European ensemble probabilities up to an inch of snow through noon on Saturday. About a 60% chance here in Raleigh, 41% in Fayetteville, 60% in Greensboro. So yeah, quite possible as of right now, could see up to an inch of snow. Up to 3, not likely. Only a 7% chance in Raleigh, 15 in Fayetteville. Of course, we're early in the game. It's likely to change, so keep checking back for updates. We've got several more days. In fact, more model data comes in, and by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have high resolution models to look at, give us a better idea of track and timing and how much we could see. So highs in the next few days with sunshine in the 30s and 40s, lows in the teens and 20s. So again, it's Friday night and Saturday we're looking out for that potential, and then Sunday, Monday we're back to drier weather. As of right now, the precipitation cuts off in the morning on Saturday, and with a high of 40, whatever is frozen will probably melt or more likely melt during the afternoon.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Boy, what an exciting game the Panthers had yesterday. If only that was like game 5 instead of game 18.
I was wondering where that has been all season, right? But the Carolina Panthers did a great job. They ended the season on a high note with the win, but their defense ended up being one of the worst in NFL history. After the break, will they keep him? Will they fire him? What head coach Dave Canales is saying about defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero's future in Charlotte. That's next in sports. Bryce Young impressed for the final time in 2024 for the season, especially with this touchdown pass. Young turned around and celebrated the touchdown before Tommy Tremble even caught the ball complete with putting his hands in the air and a little smile right there as the Panthers beat the Falcons 44-38 in overtime. So the Panthers finished the season with 5 wins. That's 3 more than last season, and much of it is the improvements made on offense. Now, the Panthers need to make improvements this offseason on defense. The key number here is 534. That's how many points that the defense gave up this season, which is an NFL record. So many people, including myself, have been wondering if the Panthers should go in a different direction and move on from a defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero. The second-year DC followed up his first season where the Panthers had a top 5 defense in 2023 with one of the worst defenses in history in 2024. However, head coach Dave Canales and general manager Dan Morgan says Evero will be back next season.
Jared will be back with us as our defensive coordinator. We have a lot of things to evaluate, over the next couple of days, and then, certainly, into the off season to reflect on our schemes, to reflect on our personnel, to reflect on the guys we have here going forward. And so, there's a lot of really important conversations.
Evero's scheme's really good. We're excited to have him back, and again, we just got to add pieces, keep developing the players that we do have. Things can turn around. We just have to put the work in.
After finishing 5-12, the Panthers will pick 8th in the 2025 NFL Draft. Only 5 players in ACC history have won ACC Rookie and ACC Player of the Week honors in the same season. All 5 of them are Duke players, and Cooper Flagg is the latest. Flagg led Duke to wins over SMU and Virginia Tech last week as Duke stays at number 4 in the country in the new AP Top 25 poll. Head coach Jon Scheyer explained this morning what makes Flagg so great on the court. Well, he actually had things to say about that. I don't know where that hissing came from. We'll have to play that for you later. But Jon Scheyer missed Saturday's game at SMU due to having the flu. He didn't make the trip to Dallas. He says he's feeling better, and he will be on the sideline tomorrow when Duke hosts Pitt at 7 o'clock. Of course, SMU, one of the top teams in the ACC. They smashed them. Pitt, one of the other top teams in the ACC. We'll see what Duke does on tomorrow.
Coach looked better, at least.
Yes.
And he sounded very good.
We'll hear his voice later, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us. We're just minutes away from NBC Nightly News. Tonight, a social media-fueled pattern of teenagers targeting men lured in through dating apps. What the teens are accusing the men of doing.
Then tonight at 7, we are staying on Flurry Watch as we look live outside. This is Fayetteville. What you need to know about school delays, plus who has the best chances to see some flakes fall tonight. We'll see you at 7.